Hey, it's Mafia X. Today we are going to do recording on the 8 directional shooter, and we're going to make it for a zombie type battle where there will be a zombie attacking you and you'll be shooting and blasting him with your guns and stuff. So here we are with our character, the player, and the player is going to be our main controller. It's going to move around in all 8 directions, and it's going to be facing the mouse and shooting once you press the fire button. So first of all, we want to go to player behaviors, and we go down to 8 direction. Now what this does is it lets the player move inside all the 8 directions, otherwise it'll just be standing still on your screen. Now we also want to add our scroll to option, which makes the screen follow the player at all times so he won't go off to your screen. And we want to do bounded layouts so our character doesn't walk off the layout itself. Okay, so now we run the layout. We see that the player moves, it doesn't go off the screen, and the screen follows the player the whole time. Great. So that was exactly what we wanted, and we'll just rename our layout right now to zombie attack or something. Something nice, you know? So now we could go to make our screen smaller because our screen obviously is too big right now. If the player is this size, this is the size of our screen. So what we do is we click off of anything that we're selecting so far, and we'll see this button called view, and once we hit that, we see that we could adjust our window size. Now I think a good window size will be 600, 400. Yes. So now we have our window size all set, our player is all set. Now we have to play around with our zombie. Now if we run the layout right now, we will see that the zombie doesn't actually move. Neither do we actually bump into him. He's not a solid. Now the ways to fix that is we'll go back to our construct, we go back to our player behavior, and we'll give it a solid property. What this does is it lets the player bump to other solids, but in order to do that we need to go to behaviors of the zombie and also add solid for that. So now the zombie is a solid, the player is a solid, but the zombie still doesn't walk. So what we do is we go back to behaviors, and we will find the bullet property, and once we hit the bullet property, now the zombie is able to move. We'll tone down the speed to 100 because 400 is way too fast. Okay. Now we want to make the player aim at the mouse at all times. It's facing the mouse, and once it has a gun, the gun will be aiming at the mouse. So what we do is we start off double click. We'll go down to input and we double click on mouse. Now that it's added to our entire project, we could go back to our event sheet now, and we'll click add event, system, every tick, player, set ankle toward position, mouse dot x, mouse dot y. Once we do that, and we run the layout, we see that the player is aiming at the mouse the whole time. Now we also see that the zombie isn't actually moving towards us, and we could fix that. What we do is we have already given our zombie, we're gonna give our zombie the turret property. And once we do that, we can go to our event sheet, we go to add action because we still could use every tick, and we go zombie, acquire target, player, so that every tick if the zombie has the player within range, it will attack the player. Now we run the layout. Now we see that the zombie is following us. Now we also notice that the zombie's turn speed isn't right, and our collisions aren't right either. So we'll just go to the turret while we select the zombie, and we go to rotation speed, and we'll give it like a good 750. That seems to be able to do it. We'll also increase the range to 450. Seems good. Okay, now the collisions, what you do is you highlight set collision polygon, and we can go ahead and add more collisions. We'll adjust the collisions to fit our shape. Don't need to be too neat, especially once there's too many collision polygons. Start screwing up and getting really laggy. So we'll just make some rough points on our mobs. Well, after that's done, we'll run the layout, and we see that all the basics to our games is set right. The collisions are right, the moving is right, the aiming is right. Everything seems alright. So this will conclude our first tutorial of our multi-part 8-directional movement. Next we're going to be playing with guns and shooting. Thank you.